Hello. How many Ashtanga yogis does it take to screw in a light bulb? One, but they'll need to do 3 Surya namaskara A's and 3 Surya namaskara B's. Welcome to Ashtanga's Greatest Hits. My name is Erin Evans. Let's dance. We'll start at the top of our mats in samastitihi. Bring the big toes together, the heels slightly apart, and let your arms hang long to the sides. Closing into the eyes or gazing down the tip of the nose, and begin to feel the extremities of your body. The arms, your legs. Notice the space you occupy. And then befriend the breath. Deepen it, and like the container of the body could get bigger from breath itself, breathe in a way that the body extends by 2 inches in each direction. Find the pit of the pelvic floor, begin to navigate the pubic bone to tailbone and sitting bones toward each other. And open the eyes. Surya namaskara A, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, low push up. Push your toes back, lift your heart. Slide back, downward facing dog. You might like to move your feet, lift your legs, take the ritualistic movements necessary. But eventually this shape is static. The only thing moving is the breath. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, feet between the hands. Lengthen. Fold. Stand tall, reach high. Release your arms. Inhale up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, take it back. Begin to study the way the feet have landed, and notice if one of the heels pulls in tighter than the other. Find symmetry, lift the arches of the feet. Pop your heels, eyes forward, feet between the hands. Lengthen. Fold. Stand tall, quads up, look up. Release your arms. Inhale up. Exhale, fold, neck soft. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, chaturanga, chin forward. Ride the inhale. Slide back, downward dog. At any point throughout the practice, feel free to drop to the knees, take child. Begin to coax the muse of concentration. Use the sensation of the fingertips and the lift of the belly to bring you into this moment. Completing your exhale, feet forward, lengthen, bow. Stand tall, reach high. Release your arms. B, sit low, arms high. Fold in, forehead to shins. Lengthen. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, right leg lifts. Step or jump, switch forward. Come up, warrior 1. Hands down, elbows tight, lower. Come up. Slide back, Left leg lifts, step or jump switch forward. Warrior one, elevate. Hands down, heels high, lower. Take it up, slide it back. At any point throughout the practice, feel free to add flourishes. Also feel free to take childs. Become conscious of how the heart hammocks toward the thighs. Perhaps you drop it, maybe you lift it. For each of us, it's individual. Our needs a little different. Eyes forward, feet forward. Lengthen. Bow. Sit low, Utkatasana. Stand up. Bend the knees, arms up. Over and in, weight to the toes. Lengthen. Step or hop back, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha. Right leg lifts, step or jump switch forward. Warrior one, palms kiss. Release the shape, step back to lower. Take it up, slide it back. Left leg lifts, step or jump switch forward. Warrior one, up. Down, hands plant, back to lower. Drag it up. Slide it back, downward facing dog. Perhaps stay as you are, maybe drop to the forearms for dolphin, maybe send those legs up, forearm stand. Wherever you've decided to land, let the breath fill the entirety of the body. If you're upside down or in dolphin pose, stretch back into down dog. Completing your exhale, feet forward. Lengthen. Fold it in. Sit low, knees touch. Stand tall, release. Bend your knees, arms up. Over and in. Lengthen. Crow to get you back. Hook the knees on the backs of the arms and gently, powerfully shoot back, low push-up. Take it up, slide it back. Right leg lifts, step or jump switch forward. Warrior one. Hands down, belly draws back, lower. Feel the tops of the feet come up. Slide back, left leg lifts, step or jump switch forward, rise up. Hands down, heels high, lower. Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha, slide it back. Anchoring into the left leg, lift the right leg up, point your toes. Take your left hand, reaching back for your ankle or shin. Lift the leg in the sky even higher. Release your hand, release your foot, lift your left leg. Take the right hand toward the right ankle or shin and lift the leg in the sky higher. Release the hand, release the foot, down dog. Eyes forward, feet to the top. Lengthen, fold. Sit low, Utkatasana. Stand tall, release. Catch your waist, feet hip distance, Padangustasana, chest up. Bow forward, catch your big toes, lengthen. Fold forward, let the back brain get heavy. Hollow the low belly back and drop your torso. Engage your arms by drawing your traps away from your ears. Notice where the eyes have landed and commit the gazing point. Inhale, lengthen, bend the knees, slide the hands under the feet, Padahastasana, lengthen. Over and in. So this is more for the wrists, so tilt the weight forward, massage the hands. Notice the temperature of the hands on the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Catch your waist, stand up. Feet together, samastitihi. Step out with the right foot, trikonasana on the right side. Press into the right big toe. You could catch your ankle, the floor, your toe, eyes on the thumbnail in the sky. Give me 10% more life in the back leg. And then take your kneecap of the right leg and spin it toward the right-hand corner of your mat. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, catch the hip, rise to the right fingertips, elevate the leg. You might reach the hand to the sky, you might reach back to catch your ankle. Start to play with the balance point, lean back, open the heart. And then release it, step it back, Trikonasana, other side, slide. Elevate the right arm, gaze to the thumbnail in the sky. Find the pelvic floor, squeeze the inner thighs together to wake up that pelvic floor. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, rise, left fingertips, right hand to the hip, to the sky, or catch the foot. Start to flirt with your drishti, your gazing point. Could you take it higher? Maybe over the shoulder, trusting the legs. Releasing, stepping back, twisted triangle on the right side. Square the pelvis. Left hand to the shin or the pinky toe edge, right hand hip or sky. Every exhale anchoring into that bottom hand and revolving the heart. Take the eyes down and inhale lifts you up, faces you forward, twisted triangle. The right arm reaches to the shin, a block the floor, left arm up. Keep equalizing the pelvis as you stack your right shoulder over top of your right wrist. Eyes down, a big inhale lifts you, 5-pointed star, top of the mat. Take a bigger step out with the right foot, extended side angle, elbow to knee or hand inside or outside the foot. You might like to work a bind, or you might like the traditional stance of hand outside the foot. Feel the pinky toe edge of the back leg anchor, which creates space and length in the top of the spine and the skull. Releasing the bind, rise up, opposite side lunge. Elbow to knee, hand inside or outside the foot. Maybe traditional arms extended or bound. Go for a deeper grip, maybe fighting for the wrist toward the elbow. Take the eyes down and inhale picks you up to face the back leg, right leg, drop your knee. Reach the left arm up, hook it over, hands to prayer. They could open or maybe you bind. Let the base be set as the shoulders and chest rolls open. Take your eyes down, and inhale picks you up to face forward. Opposite side, drop it. Right arm reaches, hooks, hands to prayer, arms open, or we bind. Every inhale we lengthen, every exhale we roll. Take the eyes down, a big inhale picks you up, 5-pointed star, top of the mat. Take a step out with the right foot, Prasarita A, catch the waist and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, over and in. Option to go upside down, press headstand, press handstand, maybe forearm stand. Notice how the hands have landed. We want them in chaturanga. So if your head is down, arms are back. If the feet are up, set them down. Inhale, lengthen. Catch the waist. Stand up. Arms float open for C. Intertwine your fingers. You might like a longer stance. Fold forward, working your head to the floor. Maybe your hands to the floor. Tip the weight slightly forward so there's a flexion in the ankle joint. A big inhale stands you up. Catches the waist for D, chest up. Hands slide down the legs, catch the big toes, lengthen. Over and in, continue to flip the sitting bones high. Let the spine be long. You might like a little up dog in the chest. Inhale, lengthen. For Titibhasana, hands plant, feet come a foot in front of the hands. You might work a squat. Some of you might widen the elbow joints and sit back on the arms. Gazing down the tip of the nose, you can point the toes. Your bottom is low, your heart is high. Titibhasana B, lower your feet. If you bind around both knees, go for that. Otherwise, we'll bind around the right leg, pivot the toes in. My full binders, you'll work your hands behind your back to catch fingers. If you're bound around the right leg, switch sides, go to the left like a bound Prasarita. Releasing the hands to the earth, Hanuman, face the right leg. Half split or full. Pull back on the right leg, straighten it. You might slide down, finding full Hanuman. Blocks under hands or pelvis is helpful. Begin to slow the breath, like this was the very moment you were waiting for. Bending back into that right knee to face the left, Hanuman or Ardha Hanuman. Straighten, maybe slide. Set it up so the breath can be full, and if you're tight in this shape, your exhalations are balm for flexibility. Bending back into that left leg, step forward. Lengthen. Fold. Stand tall, reach high. Release your arms and take a prayer behind the back. Right side up, upside down. Step out with the right foot. Pivot to face the right foot. Chest is up, over and in, Parsvottanasana. The right big toe anchors and controls the descent. Continue to squeeze the palms toward each other as the neck gets soft. Standing split, you might keep a bind or release the fingertips as you weight into the right foot, elevating the left and point it. Every inhale, extending higher. Every exhale, get committed. And then releasing that left foot, pivot forward. If you unbound, bind again, lengthen. Over and in, anchoring into that left big toe, chest leads, head gets soft. Notice if there's a ton of attention in the front leg. If so, remember you have a back leg. Feel the pinky toe edge. Tip it forward, standing split. Maybe release the bind or hold the grip. 3, 2, 1. Release your shape, open wide, 5-pointed star, top of the mat. Big toe pose, feet come hip distance apart. Live in your left leg, elevate the right, take the knee or the big toe, extend. You might fold over the long leg, you might stand tall. If you've caught the toe, push out through the toe joint to solidify the grip. If you're folded forward, stand tall and navigate your leg out to the horizontal plane, gaze over the left shoulder. Take the eyes through center, leg through center, bow. Catch the waist, point the toe, shoulders drawn back. 3, 2, 1. Release the leg. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, other side. Live in the right leg, lift the left. Option to fold forward or stay high, chest up, crown high. If you're folded forward, stand tall, take the leg out wide, take your eyes over the opposite shoulder. Let the breath be like a helium balloon, lifting the spine, the chest, the leg. Take your eyes through center, take your leg through center, maybe you bow. Stand tall, catch the waist, point the toes, shoulders back, bottom glute alive. And release your foot. Half bound standing lotus or tree. Take the right leg up. Tree people stomp the thigh. Lotus people cross it over and fold it in. If you're working a handstand lotus, you could pop up, tangle the legs. Beautiful. Moving to horse pose. So if you are without a lotus, you'll take the tree leg, step it back, and thread your left arm under. If you're in lotus, you'll lower the lotus knee, fan the left toes out to the side, thread the left arm under. Let the tailbone get long, let the chest get high, like we could pivot our pelvis forward and draw our knees back. Untangle the arms, rise all the way up, release the shape. Tree or half-bound lotus, opposite side, cross it. Tree people, maybe you elevate your arms. Lotus people, you might fold it in. Wherever you are, use the foot against your leg like an adjuster, so you have something to lever against. Horse pose, tree people step the tree leg back, otherwise drop the lotus leg, thread the right arm under. Long through the tail, elevated through the diaphragm, splay your ribs. Releasing your tangle, come all the way up, samastitihi. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Urdhva mukha. Adho mukha. Top of the mat for Pashasana. The knees are low, the heels lift. Hook your left elbow over your right knee. Hands to prayer. You might bind around both knee joints or one. Releasing the shape, take it on the opposite side. Hook your right elbow, revolve the chest. Perhaps you're bound or using a strap. Releasing the shape, side crows. Some of you might enter it from headstand. The knees will pivot over to the left side as you tip it forward. Headstanders, you'll come to tripod, hook your knee on your left elbow. You might straighten the legs or bend them. Smile the hips back, 2. 1, release your side crow. Headstanders, come back through headstand. Opposite side crow, hook the knees, elevate the heart, smile the hips, 3. 2, 1. Headstanders, you'll headstand back, otherwise lengthen. Bow. Lengthen again to take it back, low push-up. Over the toes and up. Downward dog. Step the right foot forward, Virabhadrasana A, warrior 1. The palms could splay, the palms could touch. Urging the right knee forward, but clamping down through the pinky toe edge of the left foot. Open wide, warrior 2, gaze over the right middle finger, shoulders soft. Notice where the eyes have landed. Commit to the gazing point. Humble warrior. Intertwine your fingers. Drop your shoulder to your knee. Maybe head to the floor. Work the hands as far as you can away from the low back. Release the hands. Vishvamatrasana. If you know this full variation, take it. Drop the back knee to the earth, point your toes to the long edge, walk the right foot to the left side. Make a shelf for your right leg, elevate the right leg, elevate the left arm. Vasisthasana, side plank, plant your left palm, spin it open. You might drop a foot to the earth, you might elevate it high. Your gaze gives a direction to the shape, so if you look up, it's risky, but you'll get higher. Eyes down, hands down, low push-up. Spinal extension, take her up. Take it back. Left foot steps, Virabhadrasana A, up. You may notice a subtle difference side to side. Good information for the yogi. Find the pelvic floor, tailbone heavy, back body long. Open wide, warrior 2. Gently encourage the left knee forward. Imagine your hands are sitting gently on a table out in front, back behind. There's ease. Humble warrior, intertwine your fingers, place your shoulder to your knee or head to the floor as hands work away from the back. Ignite the inner thigh on the right leg. Vishvamatrasana, you might drop your back knee, walk your left foot to the right, and then create a shelf to lift. Hug the leg to the back of the arm, just like Titibasan. Vasisthasana, side plank, anchor through the right palm, spin it open. Option to drop a foot, to elevate a leg. Strong, straight bottom leg. Release the shape, hands down, low push-up. Over the toes and up, downward dog. Option 1, child's pose. Option 2, teddy bear stand to crow or teddy bear stand to lotus. 4 more breath. 3, 2, 1. It's either a vinyasa or we meet downward dog. Eyes forward through to a seat, dandasana. Plant the palms, bow the chin, flex your legs. Notice if one quad is sleepier than the other. Find your low belly in space, draw it back. Paschimottanasana, fold forward, take shins or big toes, lengthen. And then drape yourself forward, let the spine fall. Every exhale getting smaller, more intimate. Inhale, lengthen, take your deepest grip, maybe around the feet, maybe a wrist, and over and in. Big inhale lifts the heart, releases the shape. It's either a vinyasa or a dandasana. So keep the legs out in front or flow all the way through to a seat. Half bound seated lotus, the right leg crawls up. You might prefer a figure 4. Set it up and then take the shape to whatever level feels like a meditation. The perfect balance of effort and ease. Inhale, lengthen, release the shape, opposite side, figure 4 or Ardha Baddha Padma, Paschimottanasana, over and in. Big breath that swirls up the body and then exhale, it crashes down. So there is momentum behind the wind, purpose behind the wind. Inhale, lengthen, release the shape. It's a vinyasa or a dandasana. Legs out in front or we flow. All the way through to a seat, Tirang Mukha, right leg tucks back. Take your pelvis back as you fold over the long leg. You might catch a foot, a wrist. Feel the toes of the right foot clamping down onto the floor, giving both stability and a driving force forward. Inhale, lengthen, crown chasana. Bend the long leg round the pelvis. Catch behind the knee, around the foot. You might like to fold in, pointing the toes in the sky. Inhale, lengthen, let the foot hover like a navasana. Chest is righteous, upright. And release the foot, eyes to me. Option 1, it'll be a reclined half hero. Option 2, you'll bend your long leg, rise up to a back bend. Tack your right toe in a little closer, tack the left foot in closer, and then tip it forward to take a variation of Marichyasana. My half hero folks will get there. So come down. You might rise up to that back bend. You might stay in a half hero for 3, for 2, for 1. Rising all the way up, bend the left leg and bind around that knee joint. Propel the chest forward. Feel your toes tack down. Your hips might lift a little. Rising up, it's a one-legged crow, a regular vinyasa or a dandasana. Hook that left shin on the back of the arm and sail it back. All the way through to a seat. Tirang Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana, left leg back. Take your sitting bones back behind you as you drape over your gorgeous right leg. Notice what happens on your inhales and on your exhales. It could be autopilot, but we're not interested in that. We want every breath to be a mantra, every movement to be a mudra. Rising all the way up, crown chasana, bend the long leg, knee to the chest. Option to elevate the leg, maybe you catch behind the knee or the foot. Inhale, lengthen, let that leg hover, let the arms float out from the shoulders, eyes to the big toe joint. Gently release that foot, half reclined hero. You might decide to play with that little back bend transition, or you'll work in your reclined hero for 2, for 1, rising all the way up to bend the long leg in and bind around that folded knee joint. Feel the way that the hands caught one another or your shirt, and then you might be able to find a tighter grip. Rising up, it's either a one-legged crow, a dandasana, or a regular vinyasa. All the way back through to a seat. Marichyasana A or B. So you might like to take your left leg into a half lotus for Marichy B. Otherwise, the right leg folds and we bind around this knee joint. A little bit different than the last pose, but a similar symmetry, but a similar design. Rising all the way up, straight into C or D. If you have half lotus, keep it. Cross that right knee through center, right hand behind the back, left elbow hooks. Maybe there is a bind. Whew, it's a tight one. Every inhale, we're getting higher. Every exhale, we're rolling open. Take the eyes forward, untangle. It's a vinyasa or a dandasana. So it depends on the energy level. You get to decide. Marichyasana A or B, left leg up, right leg might come into a half lotus. Reach the left arm forward, tangle the arms and descend. Note the grip. So the grip for me is often where I'm playing small or I'm just not putting effort. For some of us, it's the breath, it could be the gazing point, but choose something to place your attention. Rising all the way up, Marichyasana C or D, walk that left foot through center, knock the knee. Left arm behind the back, right elbow hooks. Maybe you leverage, maybe you bind. Take the eyes forward, untangle. A vinyasa or downward facing dog, stretch it back. Option 1, stay as you are. Option 2, handstand or forearm stand. Feel free to use a wall. If you're upside down, tone the glutes, reach out of the shoulder girdle. If you're upside down, come down. We'll meet in child's pose. Sit back. So we'll change directions and we'll go into some back bends from second and third. So if there is any resistance to the back bended practice, imagine that this is the moment where it all changes. Rising all the way up, Ustrasana, camel pose. Hold your low back, take your pelvis forward. You might stop there. Some of you might reach back for the heels and use that to leverage the chest forward. Notice the way the tops of the feet clamp down. You could drop the neck, keep a little double chin perhaps. Rise all the way up. Option 1, child's. Option 2, hero. Option 3, a headstand from second. We'll catch opposite elbows in front of our face and then elevate up. You might prefer traditional or tripod. If you're upside down, tone the glutes, point the toes, get lighter on your skull. If you're upside down, come down. Ustrasana or Legu Vidrasana. So if you're taking Legu, start to track the fronts of the thighs as you go back. Feel the top of the feet moderating, controlling. And all the way up. Child's pose, hero or forklift headstand. The head is down, the hands come directly out from the shoulders, palms up. Toning your glutes. Again, this is a way to clear the back bend. Slow oceanic breath. And come all the way down. Last one. Ustrasana, Legu Vidrasana, or Kapotasana. Set it up, knees hip distance, pelvis goes forward. Go back. Find your expression, land, take big, full breath. 3, 2, 1. Rising all the way up, stretch back, downward dog, paradise some might say. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, king pigeon. Lift the right leg up, sweep it through, lower the knee. Option 1, we descend, surrender. Option 2, you might reach back for the ankle, maybe a mermaid or a king bind. Find the pit of the pelvis. Gently release that shape. If you're down, come up. Sitting over on the right hip for Ashtavakrasana, pick your left leg up, rock the hip. Maybe you stay like that. Maybe you catch the knee on the back of the arm for Ashtavakrasana, cross the ankles. Squeeze the elbows together, squeeze the legs together. Again, the hips smile. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Let's get back. Take a moment, notice the asymmetry in the body. Opposite side, left leg lifts, sweep it through, Ekapada Raja. You might opt for a forward bend. You might peel the chest back, maybe reach for the ankle, a king, a mermaid. Gently releasing the shape. If you're folded, rise. Sitting over on the left hip, sweep the right leg around, give it a shake. And then maybe you catch the knee on the back of the arm, cross the ankles for Ashta. We'll stay 3, 2, 1. Take it back, a vinyasa or a downward facing dog. Eyes forward through to a seat. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take the left leg, tuck it under. Take the right leg, step it over. Right hand behind the back. Left elbow hooks the knee. You might catch a hold of the foot. You might have a bound practice. Like we could clear out any compression in the low back, mid back from the back bends. Take your eyes forward, Gomukhasana, stacking the knees on top of each other, splaying the heels. You could take a bind, fold forward, or stay upright. We'll stay in this shape a little bit longer than the other ones to slow the beating heart. Notice any grip, tension in the body. Find the tether of your breath or your pelvic floor. If you're folded forward, rise up. You can either do a headstand switch or a can-can person switch. For Ardha Matsyendrasana on the other side, the left foot plants. Left hand behind the back, right elbow catches the knee. You might catch your foot, or some of you might like to bind through the peephole of the knee joint. Eyes forward, Go Mukhasan, stacking the knee joints, splaying the feet. And then your design, fold upright, bound, a little bit longer than we hold our shapes. Scan for grip, let it fall away. There are moments of ease in the practice purposefully. And we want the ease to still have an element of attention. So it's not bored, distracted, or lazy. It's soft, attentive, listening. Rising up, it's either a headstand vinyasa or a step back, downward dog or regular vinyasa. Eyes forward through to a seat for shoulder stand. Some of you might prefer legs up the wall or Viparita Karani, legs up without the wall. Otherwise, rock the hips up, wiggle the shoulders under the back, and elevate the legs. Feel a subtle internal rotation of the leg bones, but they're so active. From shoulder stand, moving to plow, reach the toes overhead. If the feet touch the earth, you can interlace your fingers behind your back. Feel the back of the head push into the floor. So we still want to be able to breathe. There shouldn't be so much compression that we're gasping. From plow, deaf man's pose, bend the knees, cover your ears or your hairline with your knees. Shut out the world. Rising all the way up to shoulder stand, either taking a diamond shape with the legs, a half lotus, or a full Padmasana. And then leaning back on the shoulders to elevate the arms to locket. Hands against knees, knees matching hands. And then bringing the cross legs or lotus into the belly, staying as is, or wrapping the arms around the knees to hold your lotus. 3, 2, 1. Releasing the shape. If you have lotus, keep it. Come onto your back for Marichyasana fish. Pop up to the elbows, lower the crown of the head to the earth, and if you have lotus, you'll catch your lotus toes. Otherwise, hands by the hips. Use your elbows to open the front line of the chest. Lift your legs, lift your arms, palms touch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way down for final relaxation. Drape the shoulders under the back. Let the practice fall away. Let the person that stepped on the mat die so the next evolution of you moves forward. Feel free to stay in this shape as long as you like. Thank you for your practice.